is Daybreak, and I'm gonna go and introduce the man who's actually not won a single game this best out of three, but he's getting closer and closer. Actually, he hasn't won a single game in the both best out of three, but we share him nonetheless because he is the underdog. It is, of course, the orange Zerg in the bottom left. This game sucks, representing AT.
And in the top right, we have the Fnatic Protoss player repping those pink colors. He only needs one more map win here to really secure his seeding advantage for the live events on Saturday. His name is Harstem.
Yep, so seemingly going for that Forge Fast Expand once again. Okay, now I'm going to be a really pro-analytical caster. I'm going to, out of nowhere, say, oh, that pylon was placed slightly to the left, therefore it's a 4-gate pressure with +1 with an Immortal Sentry all in follow-up. Am I not amazing?
I'm blown away, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, who could have
respond.
guessed, right? Whoever just tuned in is going to be absolutely baffled, you know. But for those who have stuck around for a bit, not as much. But maybe we'll see some different outcome to this game. I'm gonna give this game sucks the benefit of the doubt, despite the fact that Harstem, of course, is the pro. He is the renowned player, and definitely, the man who is almost called to win this, but we have an underdog and we all cheer for him as always, despite the fact that he doesn't really like this game, apparently.
That is a bit unfortunate, and we're going to see Harstem go for that pro block right off the bat here. Let's see how effectively he can block that. At the same time, looking to put down that Nexus here in a second, so it'll be the Nexus first into the Forge Fast Expand. Just very, very standard stuff from him, and, well, I'd be very surprised, like you said, not see the same build once again. It's worked out pretty darn well for him so far, but let's see. Watch this pro block. Oh, there will be a pylon put down, so not just the pro block this time. And, well, that'll make this game sucks life even a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I believe someone is commenting on your picture. That's quite a lot of beer right there. Unless it's urine, I'm not far too sure.
It is beer. It is beer. I am
good.
I am a beer fan. I mean, I don't know. I did not choose that picture to be chosen for this cast, so someone could have maybe found. Well, I hope they wouldn't be able to find any sort of pictures of me with like 10 glasses of urine in front of me, but that would be a bit unfortunate. But, well, pylon block not going to be happening at the third base, so the first hatchery will go down there. Starting to work away on that pylon, actually running across the map with the Zerglings first and not cleaning up that pylon. Not really sure why he's really going for this. I think he should be able to tell at this point in time with the Overlord, maybe the cannon might not be done.
Well, they would definitely be able to get in, I suspect, but
Yeah.
Harstem will have enough minerals, especially if he cancels the probe, and that's precisely what he does just to be safe. And he will be able to wall off here just for a second, and the Lynx will not be able to get through, and that's proper play. This is usually how a Nexus first goes down.
Yep.
So, yeah, the natural, which will technically be the third base of this game sucks. A bit delayed perhaps because he had to squeeze out a couple of extra lengths and he couldn't take it until very recently. And now we see the proper wall with a cybernetic score going down for Harstem. So with this Forge Fast Expand, we have a bit of, bit to talk about. You're telling me you're a beer fan, and I trust this is beer actually in the picture. I haven't really had this confirmed. What is the best type of beer? And of course, besides the Dutch, because I mean, I don't know if the Dutch produce beer, but they have to, and that therefore it would be the best.
Well, we were ragging on the Belgians earlier, and I was actually just completely forgetting their existence. But I think they do actually make the best beer that I've had so far. They really know what they're doing over there in Belgium. All that monastic history and stuff. I mean, they've had a head start with the beer, and they've done quite well with it. They're very, very good. The Americans make some decent ones trying to mimic it, but it's just not quite the same thing. The Belgians know what they're doing as far as brewing is concerned, so they've got that going for them at the very least.
I cannot say I have much experience in beers. I'm fairly young, so I haven't had far too many years, practicing all that beer test and whatnot. So I'm gonna take you on your word for it. And I have heard quite a lot of the Belgian beers. Myself, I have Slavic genes. I am from Ukraine. Do you know what that actually means?
You'll have to tell me.
Well, vodka is, of course, the preferred drink if you want
go.
to get hammered. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, of course, I'm not going to brag or anything because my alcohol intake is to the minimum, and once in a while happens, I do not get as stable pictures as you do. My pictures look more like my Skype picture, actually. Yeah, that's a proper look for me right there. Cannot say it was the best picture of me, but it will have to do. Right here, we're having a small deviation. That's ironical, actually. My call was incorrect. I'm a terrible caster. We're having an old school, just gonna go straight ahead and Sentry Immortal all in. We're still waiting for that 4th gas, expecting it to be taken fairly soon, but yeah, we're having the old school with no pressure Sentry Immortal on.
Yeah, he's decided that he really just doesn't bother the 4-gate pressure. He can just skip straight to the real thing at this point in time. He's like, all right, we got this. And there's that extra gas and the +1 upgrade on the way as well, so almost certainly going to be that. And on the side of Zerg, well, let's see how he's adapting. He's got the 2 gas at the natural. And what else does he have going for him at this point in time? Not a whole lot. No Roach Warren to speak of at this point in time, but getting a lair before even going for that Roach Warren, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Very fast lair here.
Well, I mean, I do think he's going for the... actually, we do have... Oh, yeah, there we go. I missed the gases in the 3rd. We're having a total of 4 gases on their way right here, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the same composition defense as he did in the last game. And as you pointed out at the end of that derelict map, we do want to see a bit more flanking on this GameSuck side. I mean... last time we saw Concave didn't work out far too well. On this map, we don't even really have the possibility for a Concave. The choke to the 3rd doesn't really allow that, I would say.
And yeah, it looks like we will be running into the same, like you called, the same basically opening that we saw in the previous game. Infestation Pit dropping down along with the Hydra Den. So gonna be that same style of defense and going for that Hive. I'm still not 100% sold on this Hive. I'm not really sure what he's really going for, because I mean, this attack comes before the Hive can really achieve much of anything, to be perfectly honest. So I'm a little bit confused as to why he continues to go for it in the 2nd attempt, and now he knows what's coming for sure. So he should be starting to prepare at home for this.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see something we saw along the lines of last game, I guess, where we're actually not gonna dedicate far too much down the tech path. This GameSuck is already on once he sees these sentries and immortals moving out, and that's precisely what he sees right now. Maybe he has the links to force out a couple of force fields early on. Actually, no, he doesn't have that many links. Links and Hydras in full-on production, and he has 66 drones. That's a very good economical situation to try to defend this push. However, I do fear he began production a bit too late, so he's gonna have to buy some time to defend this, I suspect.
Yep, and well, is the War Prism on the way as well? Yep, we're going to see that same sort of micro, potentially, that we saw in game number 1. So as long as he brings that War Prism with him, doesn't have an in phase mode back there, but that Immortal Micro, if he can maintain that once again and just absolutely just dominate any sort of attack that could come from DSCL, by attack I mean, I guess, defense, I suppose. But, well, this army's looking pretty scary for Harstem. This GameSuck has a bit better supply, I think, this time in the previous game, has a Spinecrawler as well. And he's getting ready to defend, but where is that flank? It's still not there. There's nothing on the back even attempting to come in, and the force field should be pretty good once again here.
Yeah, time arbor force fields, and this is a very dire situation. A bit of a flank, but those links account to absolutely nothing. We're having units just pressing up versus those force fields, but they're not doing enough, and there's still so many sentries right here. And the biggest force field of them all, after all, is the hatchery, and he's actually not even target firing it. He's gonna slowly pick off all these units stringing through the 1 gap, and it looks like Harstem is actually going to seize this fairly easy last win for him.
He does lose an Immortal this time a lot earlier than last time, so I'm slightly disappointed, but with the more Stalkers coming in here as well, force fields continuing to go down. Not focusing on that 3rd base and actually losing a bit more this time. This defense is probably going to... I want to say the best so far, but I'm still not 100% sure. That's maybe because he just hasn't lost his 3rd base yet, to be honest. But Sentry energy is pretty low, and that allows him to be a bit more effective. They're going to run in here and do what they can. Hydra's going to work on these Immortals, and, well, Harstem, usually he's a little bit in his play now that we had the Warpin coming back in, but usually he's already won by this point. But this 3rd base is still in a lot of danger, and this slow siege is just whittling this GameSuck down a little bit. But oh, that's a good force field there, and those Hydras are dead to rights, and that's probably the death of his 3rd base.
Yeah, those force fields actually decimated. At any point in time, I feel Harstem could actually just focus down the 3rd base and kill it off. He is finally, I believe, out of force field. Maybe has one left there. The last one goes. And the Hydras here, without any backup, actually cannot defend this force. I mean, you do need some form of wall, preferably roaches, but in this case, of course, links. I believe we saw Swarmhouse being produced, but there is an observer. But this game sucks. With some good old-fashioned BM ends this best out of 3. And big thanks for him for showing up and doing his best versus Harstem. But of course, Harstem, the good player he is, sees us 2 straight 2-0s. Big congratulations to him, and that means he has quite a favorable seed, I guess, in the LAN event this